Hey everybody! In this video, we're going to learn the Bon Jovi intro part on bass, guitar, and ukulele. And it might seem like that's a lot to cover in a short 10-minute video, but because the bass, the guitar, and the uke are so similar, it's actually going to not be that difficult. So the first thing we'll do is we'll talk about the differences between bass, guitar, and uke. So let's look at the bass. The bass has four strings: E, A, D, and G. Um, it has frets just like a guitar does. And you can play the bass guitar with either a pick or with these two fingers, your first finger and your second finger. So let's so now let's go look at the guitar now. So the guitar, instead of having four strings, it has six strings. And the first four strings, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You probably can't see it that well. Let me get a little closer. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And the first four strings from the one that's closest to you is E, A, D, and G. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, that's because it's the same notes as the bass, only this is an octave higher. The two extra strings are B, B as in boy, and E. A nice way to remember this is Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. And I guess you could, for the bass, it can just be Eddie ate dynamite, good. Or something like that. Okay, so lastly, we're going to talk about the ukulele. And when we talk about the ukulele, it's useful to think of the ukulele as a miniature guitar. Only instead of six strings, the ukulele has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And this little device right here is called a capo. So if we take our capo and we place it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th box of the guitar, and we play the four strings closest to the ground, those notes are the same as the ukulele. So the ukulele is a miniature guitar. And yeah, that pretty much sums up the differences between them. And the note names on the ukulele, almost forgot that, are the note names on the ukulele are G, C, E, A. Good cows eat apples. right. All right. So now that we know the basics of the ukulele, the guitar and the bass, let's start to learn these parts. So with ukulele, what you're going to do is you're going to place it in your right hand. With your fingers, you're going to just place them underneath this little bout so that you can hold the ukulele just like this. And then you're going to strum the strings with your thumb. So try to go, good cows eat apples with your thumb, just like that. All right. Um, Now we're going to learn how to read something called tablature, which is used by all fretted instruments. And these little metal lines on all three of these instruments, those are called frets. And tablature is used for all fretted instruments. So let's see the screen. All right. Okay, so tablature, uh, in tablature, there are lines that represent each string of the instrument. So if a ukulele has 1, 2, 3, 4 strings, how many lines is a ukulele tab going to have? 4, that's right. Great. Um, in each tab, the line that is near the bottom is always the one that's closest to your face. So in tab, the line near the bottom of the page, the lines near the bottom of the page are always the one that's are closest to your face. And let me just draw a little smiley face right next to here. Oh boy, that's not very good. Okay. Oh, that's not so bad. All right. So this is your face, and then this string is the string that's closest to your face. Okay, so so now let's look at these numbers here. So these numbers are telling you where to put your fingers on the ukulele. So let's look at the very first number here. So the very first number is on the 1, 2, third string from your face. So find 1, 2, third string away from you. So that means that with your thumb, you're going to pluck the third string, and then it's going to have a number on it. And the number is 0. And that just means that we don't put any fingers on that string when we pluck it. So it's just open. And when we play ukulele, we always take our thumb and point it towards the side, give you a thumbs up. Actually, sorry, make a C or U shape and bring your hand down so that your palm faces the ceiling. And that's our fretted instrument hand position for all of these instruments. Okay, great. So it's going to be open, and then we're going to place a finger on the 1, 2, third, fourth string away from us. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to place our finger on 7 on the 7th box. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. And for this song, we're going to use our third finger right there. Okay, so it's going to be open, and then third finger, and then the next line. Where are we going to put our finger? So let's check the string and the fret number. Take a moment. Okay, so we're going to place that on the third string away from us. 1, 2, 3, and on the 7th fret. which just happens to be where your second dot is on the ukulele. So far we have 0, 7, 7. And the fingers that we're going to use are no fingers, third finger, second finger, okay? So just make sure that you can see. Then we're going to place our first finger on the 5th fret of the A string, which is the farthest string away from us. Then we're going to pluck the open E string 2 times, or the second string from the ground. Then we're going to place our second finger on the second string from the ground, 1, 2, 7th fret, which is that second dot. And then we're going to place our first finger on the A string, which is the closest string to the ground, on the 5th fret. Okay, so if that was a little too fast, that's okay. You can rewind it and take it a little bit slower. That's totally okay. Go at your own pace. It's going to sound like this. Okay, so now let's look at the guitar part. Let's look at the bass part actually. So take a look here. So this is the ukulele part. Do da do da do 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 da. This is the guitar part. Do da do da do 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 da. And this is the bass part. Do da do da do 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 da. So they're the exact same thing, but you just play them on different strings. You're going to play the exact same thing, just on different strings. Okay, so let's take a look at bass. Put that right there. Whoa, all right. So you got yourself a bass or a guitar and you're just gonna play the bottom 4 strings. That's totally cool too. That's a cool thing about these instruments is that they're so related that you can exchange parts. So on bass, it's gonna be the same thing. So we just have to check which strings we're playing on. And remember, this string is the closest string to your face, and the line that's nearest the top is the string that's closest to the ground. It's just like if you look down at your bass, you kind of flip it up like this. It's the exact same thing. It's closest, second closest, third closest, fourth closest. All right. So it's going to be open E, then, and by the way, with all these instruments, we count the strings from the ground up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So on the 4th string, open 0, no fingers on the fret. On the 3rd string, 7 with our pinky. On the 4th string, 7th fret. On the 3rd string, 1st finger, 5th fret. On the 4th string, open 2 times. On the 4th string, 7th fret. And on the 3rd string, 5th fret. So that's going to sound like this slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Once again, if that's too fast, you can slow it down and just take it at your own pace. All right, and then lastly, let's learn the guitar part. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Okay, so the guitar part is going to sound like this. Just like the other parts. The exact same thing on the E and A string, which are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th strings, the 5th and 6th string from the ground, which is how we count the strings on all stringed instruments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. So it's going to be open, 6th string, 7 on the 5th string with our pinky. 7. Let me get a little closer here. So open on the 6th string with our pinky, 7 on the 5th string, then with our 3rd finger, 7 on the 6th string, then with our 1st finger, 5th string, 5th fret, then 6th string open two times, then 3rd finger on the 6th string, 7, and then 1st finger on the 5th string, 5. So that's going to sound like this slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so that's all that any of these instruments need to know to play the introduction. Okay, because all you're doing for the entire intro and for the entire verse is all right, so I'll see you soon.